Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Let's get to it. We got lots to cover here because it's that time of year. It's a magical time of year, but God, we got a lot to do here.
There's so much happening.
Yes. Everything is happening.
It's all happening right now. There's internationals. There's, good club rugby in the north. There's good club rugby in the south. And now there's good club rugby
here in the
US. And I'm thirsty too.
Find us on your favorite podcast app, download, rate, review, share with your friends, all that shit. So on and so forth. Trying to do this one like an amateur.
That was a good try.
Wait for that. Oh, I gotta wait.
Yeah.
Gotta wait on those. So by our friend George, the Fantasy Rugby Coffee, because
he's doing a lot of work.
He's a busy boy. He's a busy boy these days. So give him that. He's busier than we are in some ways because he covers all the formats, and we only do a select few for our recommendations and such. So yeah, buy that man something nice. Grab your TRM upgrades because obviously Six Nations is on break, but it's nice to know which players were released back and which ones are in lineups and all that good stuff. And those pretty little green dots are very helpful.
Yes, and the yellow dots of no Frank or no Clark this weekend. So Frank Clark,
lame,
wrong football.
Not that one. Not that one.
Freddie Clark.
Freddie Clark. Frederick Clark.
Close enough. Whatever.
Yeah. Right. As always, Black Lives Matter on this podcast, and there is no room for racism in life or in sports. Just so we got lots of things going on over here. What else is new? Trials, all the different trials going on over here as well. A second officer in the Floyd death, excuse me.
So I can't recall. There's too many going on right now.
Right, exactly. Which is a problem.
Which is such a problem. And I'm like trying to take a week off from news or so. So
right, I know.
Like,
it just get a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I need a mental break from all that. So personally, I feel privileged to be able to do that. I understand that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I kind of need.
Sometimes you need to just take a break from every cycle.
Mostly because I'm digging into a new project at work, so it's like I can't
be
distract. Yes, I need to. I'm already angry enough with the way that's going.
Right, it's true. So,
yeah, I'm like, it's like a third of the way through, and I'm like just picking it up cold. It's rough.
Oof. Yeah, I do know the determination of whether or not Ahmaud Arbery's death was a hate crime. That's going to be coming up soon.
Good.
All the idiots are getting tried as such. Yeah. So
good.
Fuck them. Fucking right in the head. A little more sad news, unfortunately, or actually, you know what? We'll throw some good news in first. Patreon, get your Patreon for us because we're about to just hit you with a whole lot of shit. Six Nations will be added to it next week, along with FRD for Super Rugby. So just hang on to your hats, kids. There's gonna be a lot on there. So even if you just want to jump in for a month, you can do that, and we'd appreciate it. And we hope that you'll appreciate the information you're given.
Yep.
So
give it a check.
Yeah, definitely. A little sad news. The player from, was it Evesham RFC, Jack Jeffrey, just like, that is not something that we see very often. And man, it hurts. It hurts the whole community when you see something like that,
Yeah, it's not, and it doesn't go away. So like my club lost a player who was like 19 back when I was first started playing, when I was like, literally I have the t-shirt of him for that we made for him for the fundraiser for his family and all that. Like I have two of them, and that I have lived with them longer than he lived, because and I like still cherish them because like he was a dear friend, and it was after like so our hearts go out to every club and every family member who has to go through this. It's not, we try to take it out of we try to take headshots and all this stuff out of the game to make it safer.
I wish we could fix it all.
You can't fix it all, and so
really,
we just
really
hope this it is happening fewer and fewer now, I think, but
thankfully, yeah. But
yeah, let's
really awful.
hope it never happens again.
Yeah, so supposedly a lot of clubs are gonna not wear 11s this weekend. They'll put like 25 on or something like that, which is
right.
Really nice nod to
Yes,
to Jack Jeffrey. So yeah, hopefully his family and the club and all are have feel. I think that it sounds like they feel like they have the support they need to get through this, which is great, and that's what the rugby world can do. They respond quite well to instances like this. So yeah, really sad. For whatever reason, in this one particular, just really hit me. I was just like, ooh, this looks awful, because he wasn't very old either. So just really rough, really rough. Sad. All right, let's, before we burn too much of a hole in our time pieces here, let's get into some Super Rugby preview. It's going to be a wild one with the addition of the Moana Pacifica and Fijian Drua, and I cannot wait.
I can't. Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to try to play open style rugby, and to me, that it might take them a little bit to click, might not. Like this could be an instant thing, where the points happen, when they happen. But it's like, I'm just looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table, and plus it's great for the islands, and it's good for we've seen how many people are players are going back to their true home nations now. If they got a taste of the All Blacks or something, and
or the Wallabies or whatever,
right, and it didn't work out long term or something, so it's okay. Well, shit. Now before they weren't really. It was so difficult to go back, and now it's
this makes it a little easier to go back and play for your home nation, just to be able to. And they always have the option, but the call of their home, whatever league they're playing in, is sometimes just a little bit more of a little bit louder, and that's not what you want, but
but if these teams catch on, if this works, then they don't have to go overseas in the first place, and that's the big thing too. So I'm really hoping for the best for them. I'm really hoping they click early.
Yeah, same. I
get some dubs.
I watched the trial match. One little highlight from the Drua. They look like they're having fun already. I was like, okay. Just chucking the ball around and getting scores. Hopefully we see. I think he's hurt now, but Tuidraki. I hope we see Tuidraki Simavadra from Free Jacks.
That would be nice to see too. Cool. It is going to be available on Flow.
Yeah, lame. Here in the US, everybody else. It sounds like they've announced other ways to do it, but regions abroad as well. But doesn't make it not annoying for us.
Yeah, you bastards! I thought I was done with you.
Yeah, we all thought. Yes, I thought I was out.
Yeah,
they bring me back in.
Seriously, you fucking bastards.
Fucking hell. So it's top 5 go into the qualifier. The first team will get a bye, and then it's knockout from there. Is this still the Crusaders just walking away with another one, or is there somebody that's going to actually punch him in the face and knock him out?
Well, I mean, we saw they didn't win the Super Rugby.
That's true,
right? They won within the intra.
It was the Blues,
right? But the Blues won overall. So it's absolutely possible. There's some really good teams. And then the Crusaders lost some matches to in country, so it was like that second time playing through. Saw it a little bit. That means there's weaknesses there. So even I think the Chiefs beat them. Like the Chiefs weren't all that great in the Aotearoa comp, but they were also pretty damn good in the Trans-Tas. So there's teams, and Reds are freaking quality. Rebels are quality.
Yeah, teams have been, And some of the players have been kind of dispersed a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we saw Josh Ioane jump ship. He's now
right
a Chief.
That could be incredibly helpful for the Chiefs. Like,
yeah, there's
really
there's guys all that have kind of jumped around. There's obviously some players that have left their their current Super Rugby squads to go play for one of the two new teams, which is great.
I feel okay. I know this might not be a popular opinion, but I have it, and that is, and as a Chiefs supporter, I think they're better without Damian McKenzie. And I certainly think if you had to trade the two, I would take Brody Retallick 10 times out of 10. If you could only play with one,
no doubt.
And so you take that team and you kind of, you add Josh Ioane and Brody Retallick and you take away Damian McKenzie.
Mm-hmm.
You take away a lot of mistakes that were made last year. A lot of mistakes certainly in attack, like certainly when it really counted, like on the goal line, there were a lot of, McKenzie wasn't finishing the way he used to.
Right.
And it's like,
he didn't do a lot of, he didn't make a lot of the first team, a lot of the starts for the All Blacks in this past cycle too. He did make a couple. I'm not going to say he didn't make any.
Right. But when it mattered, it was Will Jordan back there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And he was on the bench.
Or Bodie if they needed him or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do want to turn our attention to what I believe will be a very special day.
Oh, that's right.
And it's the weekend of May 14th. And that is the day that Fiji and Drua and Moana Pacifica will play each other. So that'll be a pretty cool match. I hope somebody makes a real big deal of that and they get some sort of special things going on with that, because that's going to be pretty freaking awesome for
those
two clubs to be able to
cracker of a match.
Yeah, it'll be a great match on top.
They're going to go so hard at each other. It's going to be like tries and cards.
Yeah, probably a little bit. It'll be great.
The referee will be raising a hand one way or another
very often. Very, very often. Yeah, so just kind of quickly, Blues probably one of the qualifier contenders without a doubt, if not maybe a favorite, depending on who you ask. Bowden Barrett returning should obviously make them very good.
Right.
And then they have a lot going on for them. Papali is their new captain this year. That should be, I don't see any way that's a downside. So,
right. And Caleb Clark, hopefully with a little bit of, he had a sophomore slump, but the guy has pure talent.
Sevens too, which kind of took away from it as well. So that was unhelpful for his own sake. Brumbies, I mean, they've obviously, for the longest time, they were the best in Australia, and then the Reds fixed that last year. No reason to say that they can't do it all over again, but and it's a lot of the same pieces coming back, which is good and bad. Obviously, you want to try and add some flair and some freshness to it, but at the same time, Lilisio's a year more into it, which only helps them. And you and I both don't love Nick White, but at the same time, he's still quality player. Rob Valentini has got a little bit more, Wallaby experience under his belt. So I don't have a ton to be mad about it from the Brumbies. It's just a matter of, do they show up every weekend or do they take a weekend off?
Yeah,
that could be the answer right there. You could have your answer with that. Your Chiefs, how you feeling?
Like I said, I'm feeling pretty positive. Like, I like Retallick coming back. I think that's going to open up a lot. I liked how they looked towards the end of last season to begin with. We were talking before the pod about Jacobson and Peter Gus, and it's like they just had to get that combination working. They were kind of I think they were going one or the other, and Peter Gus was he was running into way too much traffic, and when they could move him wider, like him and Jacobson as the wing forwards in that attack are just pounding either side in the open field. And I like what they have in the back line. I mean, Quinn Tupaia, as much as he annoys the fuck out of me, he showed when he played with the All Blacks that he can play contained. Like he doesn't have to be kind of out of control, trying to do too much that he was doing with the Chiefs, or kind of doing his own thing anyway with the Chiefs.
Going all Maverick and Rogue.
Right. I think if he can play disciplined, they'll be just fine. I like their lineup this weekend. It doesn't have, some of the players you might expect. So, like, you can
right, you still have some good things coming down the pipe as well. In that case,
exactly. And I like I like all the outside backs. They're full of running. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. If they can, the style that they play is open, and they got the guys who can execute it. So,
yep, no doubt, and everybody seems to be tipping Jonah Lowe to do quite well. And the new guy, what's it, Moses, playing fullback this weekekend for them. Looks like.
Oh,
why am I spacing on this now?
Why am I spacing on this now? Well, I know it's no, it's on him. Oh, here it is. Oh, Narawa.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, everybody's
from the Blues.
tipping him to have a good season as well. Mm-hmm. So it should be fun, just the same. Crusaders. I mean, it's the mighty Crusaders.
It doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't really matter what lineup they're putting together. I know Fergus Burke's playing for them this weekend, but they've got more than enough quality in that midfield. David Havili being in that in that midfield for a Fergus Burke is more than people will realize. Like, for his development and his being able to play, like, whether or not it's a super successful day for Burke is not, going to be totally, evident on Havili, but it's just like, it's so good for him to have that just the same.
Right. He just needs to trust the players around him and just let them, like, kind of let them do the work and just guide it. Like, just paint with a light brush stroke. Don't try to put too much of yourself on, into the game. Like, let the game happen and learn, he doesn't have to be Richie Mwanga.
No,
like, they're fine.
That's a hell of a 10 to try and pretend to be. So
right. So don't try. Just, be Fergus Burke. Be,
right.
Play within the system. Play within the game plan. And listen to the players around you and work with them. Give them what they need. Mm-hmm. You're good.
Yep.
And that's the thing about the Crusaders, that, like, you just slot, just do this role. Yes, there's others that do it better because they can do more. But if you just do, like, you play your cog in the greater machine and let someone else have a bigger part of it, okay, that's your job. Like, and they do it. Fucking bastards.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they do. Something going on over there.
Because even then, they're still talented. It's not like they're not talented. There's a reason that they're on the Crusaders. So it's like, fuck.
Yep.
I'm, like, not even minimizing Fergus Burke here. It's just that, he doesn't have to try too hard. He'll be okay.
No, you won't have to. You won't have to. Agreed. Drua, obviously, new team. Lots of new faces that we're going to get familiar with. Nemani Nagusa is their captain, the former Newcastle Falcon. And they'll be fun if nothing else, and that is something that we want out of this. Winning's fun, great, but man, if you're doing stuff that nobody wants to watch, what the fuck's the point? So
and they the way that the way they'll play is going to be entertaining no matter what. So it's kind of the way the game is going. Like, they're kind of ahead of the game, the way they go, the way that it's going with keep ball alive, moving even into England. Fuck.
Right.
Like, it can't be ignored at this point, that their style of play. And so it used to be weird because that's just not how, and it used to be, that's not discipline. But now it's kind of the way teams just play. So they're already ahead of the game.
Agreed.
That could help. So
it's gonna be a great team to watch either way. I'm looking forward to it. Highlanders, obviously, Ioane's departure is, in my opinion, very big, and I don't think enough people are making a big enough deal of it. Mitch Hunt's not Josh Ioane. That's all I know.
No, he's not.
So, and obviously there must have been some sort of rift in there. In which case, obviously, that's why Ioane decided he was going to jump ship. But still, I mean, you're not mad about it, obviously.
Nope.
Bryn Gatland
not crying any tears about that.
Yeah, Bryn Gatland wasn't gonna quite do it for you. Sorry,
unfortunately.
Yeah. So but still, they have Aaron Smith, They have some very good talent out wide. I don't see them not being competitive at the same, so you can't sleep on them, but at the same time, like, yeah, I'm not sure that they're going to be on this qualifier list. So
not certainly not if Scott Gregory is their first option at 12, because Tompkinson's out, and that really that fucks with them a lot. Just a bit.
The mighty Hurricanes. I mean, they are going right from the start with the kids. It's not just Jamie Booth's not a kid, obviously, but Ruben Love. I mean, thank God that they tried to baptize this kid last year into this whole thing and just be like, here you go, kid, have fun. And there were some games where he stood out, and there were some games where he didn't need to, but he held his own. And there are obviously a couple of games where he did exactly what you'd expect a young player to do, and that's completely fucked up sometimes. But that's okay, and I'm okay with what they did last year. The season was gone when Garden Basham broke. I was just like, that's the end. Don't even try and do anything else. We didn't have TJ. Yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah,
it was a problem. So I'm excited about what's going forward. Do I think we're going to get in the qualifier spot? I think we'll compete for it, but I don't know if we'll get there. I don't know if we quite can get over the line. It's going to be a real question of what's going on in the tight five.
Yeah,
so that's our biggest problem now.
Can you hit the line out?
Yeah.
Can you hit the line out?
Yeah. Apart from the hooks.
Yeah.
In the tight five, I don't know what we have, honestly. Like, I'm not super happy. I'm not super excited about it. That's for sure. So we'll see. We have Jordy's Superman some days. Can't be every day. We got to have guys that can pick them up.
No, but that loose forward grouping it's not fair. I mean, come on now. I know Carriffy can be a helmet sometimes. But the four that are playing this weekend are just they're ridiculous. Yeah. Flanders, Carriffy, Savea, and Yosei when he comes in. Like Yosei is like as we were saying before the pod, he is like it's like a Alfie Barbary type. Like he's
gonna come in and rip.
Yeah, when he comes into a match, you know it fairly quickly. Like, oh yeah, somebody just did something awesome. Oh yeah, Yosei's on.
It was him. Okay. Yeah, he did quite have quite an impact last year.
So like there's again in a comp where your ability to do stuff with the ball and fuck with the defense is key to basically any kind of success. You got a puncher's chance with this lineup, even with the tight five being what it is, you can succeed without really dominating up front in this comp.
Hope so. Hope so for our guys.
Trying to be positive here.
Trying to be positive over there. For the Rebels, I don't know if they're going to compete this year. Unfortunately, we talked about during our draft. Love Tamua. There's a lot of pieces I really like that they have. I don't know if they're going to be able to really put together a competitive season this year. I don't think they'll be, bottom feeders by any means, but they're definitely destined for mid-table, abyss. So I hate to say that, but that's probably where it's at. Yeah, lots I like about that team. Just ain't quite doing it for me this year. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Moana Pacifica, again, another team that's very exciting. Kopi Kepu is their captain. That should be pretty awesome. I think, is Major their coach? Or did I make that up in my brain? Nope, Aaron Major is their coach.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So lots to be excited about this one as well. Lelia Fano was part of the team, which is awesome.
Kopi Kepu.
A couple of nice steady hands for them, no doubt.
Right. Yeah.
In that team. So they will be dangerous.
Right. They're in pretty solid hands. They've got guys who who've played in the they've got a lot of guys who've played in this comp and been around the comp.
Yeah. So Kata. Yep.
Tawala was with the Hurricanes.
Yes, he was.
And some familiar names like Tima Fainganuku.
Yep.
Like we know that name. I'm sure they're related. Not that is like a huge
stretch
indication of anything, but
I mean the one guy is pretty good, so
right. So you can only imagine that a relative would also be good.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because they probably played with and against each other.
So. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure they beat each other up a few times or two.
And Leia Lefano is a huge get.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a guy who, international experience, experience in the comp. Like this is there's a lot to like about like this. I think this team's in position to. I think they're in a better position to compete than say like the Western Force that we'll get
to. We'll get there in a second.
Which is pretty good for a first year team.
Right. Agreed. Let's go to the Taz. They will get at some point Michael Hooper back, which will be nice. They've designated Jake Gordon as their captain this year. Not to say that Hoops won't add to that. Obviously, he's got a lot going on with the Wallabies, so good to let him take that back seat at least.
Right.
Yeah. Again, I think this is a team that they did some good things last year in who they played early. With like Donaldson and Harrison. Donaldson's obviously starting this weekend. So they did themselves some favors by putting those out there. That center combination I really, really like with Parise and Fouquetti. So that's something
Jamie
to be
Roberts
excited about.
Reserve. I mean,
I know.
I mean,
the old man coming out and doing it all over again.
Oh,
I love it. That's great. Yeah, Jamie Roberts. I mean, he adds so much more than his play on the field.
Yeah,
so.
His athleticism it's not what he brings to the table. It's everything else.
It's a lot of everything else too.
Yeah. Physicality though too, which is a component of athleticism, but still, hard man. and
dude,
heady as fuck.
Yeah, that is not somebody I'm getting in the way of if I can help it. You become a speed bump at points with him.
But the thing is, he'll also make you look stupid, and that's just not
truth.
Right. If he can run you over, that's one thing. Okay, I can deal with that every so often. It'll hurt, but I can deal with it. But it's like, okay, if I like really come in for the kill, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna dippity do and move the ball,
find a way around you.
Yeah, get around it. And
absolutely,
dick.
Yeah, you dick. Get back here. Yeah. So if I'm the Waratahs, I'm a Waratahs fan, I'm excited. This should be this should be an interesting group to see how they go forward.
Yeah, you got to get through this first period without, as you said, without Hooper. Get through that, and then he brings it
a lot.
It changes because like Tizano and Swinton weren't really.
Yeah, I could care so little about Swinton. No thanks.
But I think if you add a Michael Hooper to that, it's like, all of a sudden they have a little bit less to do because he does fucking everything on the field.
Right.
That's going to free them up so much.
Yeah, so much. I agree. Going down the list here, Queensland Reds defending Super Rugby AU champs, and again likely in contention for a knockout spot here as well. Don't see any reason why not, especially with all that they have. That back row is absolutely delicious. Oh my God, with all that they have to add to that and the pieces they can move around in that's great. McDermott and O'Connor are one of the better halfbacks pairings in the comp, no doubt. So they will be contenders. I'd be surprised if they don't make the qualifier, honestly. Very shocked if they don't. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way.
There's and that front, that forward group is just unfair.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's kind of like, okay, he's a big man, but like no, it's not funny. It's awesome. Like people make it a kind of a comedy thing or something almost when it's when he's playing internationally, and he's a beast. Unfortunately, at that level, it's like less evident. At this level, he plays like an 8.
Yeah, he moves around quite well.
But he'll crush a scrum. So it's just that much more fun. It's like, no, he's a rugby player out there. He will be amazing, and that's so much fun to watch at this level.
Yeah, and their backs are this weekend isn't necessarily a good example of it with what's their butt, Fluke and Stewart in the middle, but Pasami and Pataya is on the wing this weekend. Yeah, that's a freaking mean midfield some days, I'll tell you that much right now. Wow. Whoa. Oh my God. So yeah, lots to like about the Reds going forward here. Like I said,
I hadn't even looked at their lineup for this weekend. So
Patai's on the wing. It's Jock Campbell and Deganu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find their.
And what's his butt? The second row. He can play 6 as well when called upon. Salakai Loto. He's quite a monster in the middle there.
Right.
Check yourselves, folks. And then the Force. Kind of a storybook last year where they got to the AU semifinal and then got knocked out, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to do that again.
Yeah,
they did lose a little bit. They've added a little bit too. I think was it Kunzel that went to the Force, who was the backup at the Brumbies. So that's a decent get for their sake, especially where they don't have.
Was Isaac? They got Isaac Fines.
They got him too. Okay, yeah. That's also good. Yeah, that's pretty good as well. So there's a lot to like there.
Is pretty good.
Yeah, Matsumata'ele is a decent get. He ended up being the odd person out at Crusaders. So
they got Isaac Rada too. That's
probably their biggest one there, and getting him to come home, which he's making a ton of money in France.
Right. Oh, they got a bunch of guys from Brumby. Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna come home and you're gonna play for what was one of the worst teams in your country. It probably isn't anymore, honestly. I think that gets tipped to the Rebels still. As much as it pains me to say that, but yeah, there's a lot going on with them in terms of what they've got. Can they piece it together is always the question. Mm-hmm. And meh right now is the answer. I don't know. I really don't. So the only way we're going to find out, obviously, is what happens on the pitch. At least, first week will be a measuring stick with the Brumbies.
I mean, they've come a long way, though. I think this year is like, what was it, 2 years ago, where they were used to playing 70-minute matches, and so like the last 10 minutes of each half were just awful.
Yeah.
And so it was like there was no way they could win, because even if they got like a 14-point lead, they would give up 17 in the last 5 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah, they'd find a way to blow it, unfortunately.
Right. They're not that anymore, certainly.
No.
So
no,
they're a team that will close you out if they get it up. If they get up on you, they'll close you out.
Yeah, they can probably hold it. Their captain is Kaitu, their hooker last year, who did get a Wallabies nod, which I was really happy about. But yeah, not so much. Not quite gonna do it for me this year. I don't see them getting into that qualifier at the very least.
Probably not.
All right. Who's gonna win?
I'm gonna go with Reds.
Yeah, I was actually eyeing them myself. As a not Crusaders answer. Yeah, I think that's the answer. The Reds. I agree.
I mean, there's teams that Blues. As I said, Chiefs. I actually have high hopes for the Chiefs this year.
Good for you.
I know. I don't know if that's right or not, but I've been struggling with DMAC, so I feel like there's a little bit. As I said, I feel like the addition through subtraction there, and of course, maybe I'll miss him a lot more than I realize. I'll figure that out in about 2 nights.
Yeah,
couple in about 36 hours. Yeah.
Just hang on, kids. Okay, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Lots of excitement about this comp going into this year,
and I think you're underrating the Rebels. I think they have a shot too.
Yeah, well, that is definitely a team I need to see it first at this point.
They've been, I know
they ended really poorly.
They did end really poorly, but I feel like there were like mitigating circumstances and just the general bleh that took over that team. If they decide to come out and smash it, they will, because that they kind of didn't have much heart, and I don't know that's fully their fault, but
yeah, I know they were playing. They played away from home most of last year, so I'll give them that little.
It was tough. Tip. They were in tough circumstances. So, with less in their way, fewer obstacles, I think they'll do better. And Tumua, has been
freaking
awesome there.
Like I said, I am a huge Tamua fan, but just needs to be more.
Needs
to be more. All right. Wales and Scotland, Six Nations, round 2. This was not the result that some of us were expecting, at least. Certainly not after the 2 performances we saw the week before.
Well, the thing is, both teams played not to lose, and neither were terribly successful at it. And one team played their circumstances a lot better than the other. That wasn't that. Yeah. And we had an Australian ref, which was annoying this weekend. I thought that it was a decent match, but should have been a lot better. It was just blah.
Yeah, nothing that really got you out of your seat, apart from probably the Darcy Graham try.
That was pretty sweet. He's really good in that little phone booth. He's not. He's squirmy little bastard.
Yes, he is. The toughest to bring down.
Right.
Get back here. They really are.
See, because here's the other thing. So okay, a while back, when I was watching Aaron Judge smash home runs, I turned to Jared and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. Because it's people like you bastard trainer, that get like big men super coordinated. It's also people like you that make the little guys like the Shane Williamses suddenly like fucking Darcy Graham instead, where it's like, you know what? I could run past you, but I'm just going to throw a little shoulder in there while I do it anyway.
Bury it in there.
Really. Yeah. Cause like you go for those edges, the further out you go, the more likely the defender can like throw you into touch or something, can potentially control it. But if you can really throw that shoulder in and get that little edge to you as you go by, you can control that contact and get the try. Yep. So yeah, fuck you for people.
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, it's been, I mean, man, I'm at a loss for words for Scotland. Although I think there was some idiot that used to coach Scotland that said something about how bad they were, and I was like, dude, didn't you like have one of the worst records as Scotland coach? Yeah. Like, shut up, go away.
And I know it doesn't. It didn't affect the outcome. I don't believe, but it could have. I think it impacted the game. I don't think the Finn Russell yellow was a fucking yellow. I'm sorry, he ran into a prop as he was trying to pick off a pass. Like they bumped hands as he was making contact with the ball. Like, and the referee's like, well, he obviously knocks it forward intentionally, and there's no attempt to regather. It's like, because he ran into a fucking prop and couldn't go forward. Like, you can't make an attempt when you're being crushed backwards. And that only in disparity to that. Oh, who was it who hit? It
was Basham, I think.
Basham, yeah.
That
Skinner. Fucking shoulder straight to the head. Like, there was. How do you not?
I knew
like, and that's the problem. Like,
I was like, oh, that was a bad call. Yeah, absolutely. Right. I agree.
And it's like that should have been a straight red, like no question. But only an Australian referee would
find a reason.
Yeah. Right. So here's the thing, because here's the thing about what's his ass, Razzie.
Yeah.
With his video, and then why he fucked up, because he instead of talking about the differences like this, we saw it throughout the weekend, that the Australian referees don't care about head contact. They don't care at all. Even French referees, like they're
probably like, a little harsh on it, if anything.
Right, because they're like, you make us stop, and not play. Because you hurt him. He lay there. Like, red card for you.
Right.
Like, at least they, like, maybe they're doing the right thing for the wrong reason, but they're still doing the right thing. The Aussies just don't care about it, and it's not good for the game. Like, I would have been furious. Like, I was furious with them for that, just because. And right after that, Scotland put on a fucking show, and if they were doing that against 14 instead of 15, I think that's a different outcome.
Might have been,
and have been. I'm a little. I mean, I'll take the outcome. Whatever, they may not have.
They didn't do enough to get themselves in a better position anyway. So
right. Bottom line is they didn't score. So fuck, I'm not No, nothing to be said.
No.
Just an annoyance of the match.
No, annoyances are all over, so it's okay.
Right. And it was an annoying match. So why not have it end in an annoying way?
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, he probably followed a couple calls at the end there as well.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, so Wales get back on track, Scotland. And I said it with a friend. I don't know if anybody's gonna win a Grand Slam in this. So if you have one loss, you're not completely out of it.
Right.
So just kind of keep that in mind.
They can come back from that.
Yep. Let's jump over. This was without a doubt the match of the weekend, and holy shit, did it deliver! Stade de Francais. Oh my god, this was everything. This was
turning
awesome.
off the PA for the anthem. The place is fucking rocking.
Yeah.
Goodness. They were ready to go. Gavin Villiers. I mean, speaking of what I was saying with Darcy Graham.
Yeah, little guys that can pack a punch.
Who did he? Didn't he like give Furlong a how
somebody
are you?
fairly large? Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody large, and he did that a couple times. Oh, Bundyaki, he smushed Bundyaki backwards.
Yeah, that's not nobody either.
Right? Fuck, you don't do that as a 50 kilo wing.
No, generally not. Generally not.
Not 50 stone.
Not 50 stone. Good Lord. No. I don't know my math, but I know that's a lot.
That's off.
Yeah, it is off.
Trust that calculation.
No, I don't. I don't think anybody can knock anything whatsoever that Joey Carberry did in the stand-in role for Sexton. If anything, he was just as good as we saw Sexton the week before.
Right. I mean, look. Yeah. Grand scheme of things, you pilot a team to a 6-point loss in France. This French team, at home in Paris, like, no, that's you lose by, you get the bonus point for the loss. You nobody can expect more than that, like reasonably.
No, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I even talked to some of the people on one of my projects. Is that one of the companies is Irish, and so we talk, and he's like, yeah, it wasn't good. I'm like, but it was France. He's like, yeah, I know. He was like, what are you gonna do? You can't be. He couldn't be mad. He's like, it just sucks that we lost.
It does, but they did it. They did themselves proud.
They did themselves super proud. Mac Hansen, I mean, sir.
Welcome to the Six Nations Rugby, dude.
Sir.
Yes, that was beautiful.
I mean, talk about make you fucking stand up out of nowhere. Like that, yeah. If your butt was still attached to your seat at that point, I don't know what you
Taz was in my lap, so
stronger. Yeah, exactly. My cat was in my lap. I think that's what the only
Taz was in my lap. That was my only excuse. I couldn't stand up because I was like, "Whoa, yep, he's gone. See ya."
I'm not flinging the cat across the room.
No, Taz will fucking get all sorts of pissy.
Yeah,
Lord. But it was, great stuff, and that was an absolutely beautiful try, and so was the one that was privy to it with Dupont. Yeah. I was like, oh man, and of course it's Intimac, and they just know where each other is, so it's great. It was all around a fantastic match. If you want a great match to watch somebody, right, and show somebody, this is a great one to show.
It really was.
Obviously the question is, what were they doing kicking for the points when they should have gone for the corner? Like everybody is like, what are you doing? I think everybody in the world was yelling, what are you doing? Except the French.
Right. Like, okay, that's what you want to do. Like,
I didn't agree with that at all.
No.
Had to go into the corner. Had to go in the corner, but they'll learn from it, hopefully, at least, and take it with a grain of salt. And just, this was a fantastic match. Everybody did their part in this one, and good Lord, can we do this one more time somehow?
Right.
Let's do that one again. Won't spend too much time on the one on Sunday. As much fun as it was for the likes of us that wanted to see Harry Randall play, but
he was delicious. I mean, not his kicking so much.
We know this is not news. We know his kicking is something to be desired,
but he didn't need to. Like, you take the balance of that, and you say, okay, the times that he fucked up was when he kicked it because, okay, maybe he went to directly to touch or didn't go far enough or something like that. But it's like, box kicking is total, like, what the fuck good is it most of the time anyway? So his attacking like it was his, movement of the attack that set up like every try.
It was good. Pace. Yeah, he was really keeping the pace very, very well. That was the thing I think most people were very happy with him. Is
the defense never got settled. They had never had a chance to just chill and wait for the next. And Ben Youngs doesn't. He gives them that. He gives the defense that opportunity. And when you have a Marcus Smith in that, and a Max Malins, and Freddie Stewart is showing that he can do a little bit more than just bomb squad now. So I'm now it's kind of a streak. I just kind of wish they had another wing. Yeah. Did they have another? I saw Max Malins a whole lot. I didn't see any other wing.
Right. Neither of the two guys that played in that spot.
They should think about that when they play a better team.
Yeah. Just a thought. Thought.
Daly really, it's true. Daly came in pretty early and he also kind of just disappeared. Felt like.
Agreed. I mean,
he had a try, but
yeah,
that's not the point.
Ellis Gensch had a game, but he also was a hero in trying to make sure that Seven did not die.
Right.
So that was very nice of him. And also obviously, I don't say nice. I mean, like, yeah, thank God he did what he was doing. He did what he did because Neckery was in trouble. It sounded like.
Yeah. So yeah, he like thanked him on Twitter. Like there was a whole thing.
Good. So, yeah. That's what it's about, man.
Right.
You rewind all the way back to when Tanu Umaga ran all the way down the field to give CPR to, I think it was a Welsh player, and just stopped whatever the fuck he was doing. That's the type of stuff that has to happen on the pitch, and look out for each other in these cases, because every once in a while there's an awkward one that nobody meant to do, but it's resulted in something very, very, very bad. So gotta be on top of it, boys. So and let's just bottle the conversation about Italy leaving the Six Nations. Just shut up. Shut up.
Stupid.
Every one of you.
They're good. I mean, I'm sorry, they're not they've played two of the best teams in the world, right? And they haven't fucking gotten they've gotten beat, but they haven't gotten pantsed.
No, it's not like
they're stepping up. They're playing hard. They're showing up, and they're putting pressure in their own way. And yeah, unfortunately they got goose egged here, but I mean, if Wales and Scotland play against Italy the way they played against each other,
oh yeah, it'll be bad.
Italy can win. But here's the thing, Georgia, no, they can't.
They haven't beat a tier 1 team last I checked. So until that happens, this conversation's over.
It is. Yeah. And it's
make a pathway.
They
when
tied
they can
Portugal
beat teams consistently, we will make a pathway.
Right.
Until then, I don't want to hear a fucking word of it, because they get housed every time they play a tier 1 team.
Right.
Every time.
I mean, if they play the US too, if they played the US at full strength, I'd take the US.
Yeah. Listen, the US has more tier 1 wins than Georgia does.
Right. That's true. We beat Scotland recently.
Yes. Okay. So enough. Just stop with that bullshit and let it go. Okay. They will make a pathway when these teams can show that they can actually beat a tier 1 team. Like, I don't care that they don't, the opportunities need to be there. I agree with that. But at the same time, until they can prove it, fuck off.
This matchup is the troll bait of the tournament.
I know.
The absolute troll bait between the Italy bullshit and the anti-Marcus Smith trolls.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like, everybody just, he only beat it. It's like, he scored a freaking awesome try. Like him and Malins combined for a fucking awesome try. And
he was all over, and he was all over the place too. So.
He was. And so what the fuck? Look,
don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Piss
really
off.
Don't.
Piss off.
This is not the time. Like, I get that you hate, and I did, like, somebody call it Marcus Myth. That's actually, like, that works in both directions. I'll take it. Because he is pretty mythical at this point, but it's not because he's like blessed or like some sort of lord on high. It's just that he's fucking a good rugby player. And he's doing, like, it's a lot like Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to win the Super Bowl every year, no, but you have Marcus Smith on your team and you have a chance to win because he's going to do things that give you a chance to win.
Yep.
It's not
agreed.
Yeah. It's just, it is what it is.
Talent. And there's no
like,
doubt about it.
There's no need to hate There's no need to be all annoying, like annoyed by it. Just appreciate it. You're not going to see many talents like that. And when they come along, like, yes, in the future, lots of fans will play like Marcus Smith. But in the past, not many have. Finn Russell, I thought, played very Marcus. He and Marcus Smith have very similar games, and both have their detractors because I think people aren't ready for it still.
Right.
These are the people who say, "Oh, you get the ball, you run north-south." It's like, not really. You attack the outside.
Attack where you can. Don't north-south might be it, but it might not be.
Right.
Okay.
So, right, he does the things that and a lot of the other players on the other side did too. Like, I thought Ioane had a decent game. Kanoni just was.
Yep.
And Rosa, that's fucking dangerous.
It's nice second round
pair. Yeah. So there's, it's the way rugby's going. You can see the kind of the past of England now, and the future, and the future is looking pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the future's not looking bad. All right, let's run through the Prem without spending too much time on a few of the matches, at least. Bristol, London Irish. Yeah,
Bristol fucking bottled it.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So bad. That was just poor.
Very
super annoying. And then 2 yellow. Was that 2 yellows? Was it
or red? No, Lago got a red.
Oh no, Lago got redded. I thought there was I thought there was something right around half. No, nope. That was it.
Nope, that's it. But that was enough.
Oh, it was Creevy right around half. That's right. They got Creevy off and just didn't. They got scored on. So it's like you didn't even do any. Like they just really fucked up the whole second half. So
yeah,
and then
I'm sure Lamb would agree with that.
Now Lago got redded, and it was just. I mean, way to show up at the end to.
At least they got a couple. They got the bonus point out of it.
The bonus point.
Yeah, you got to decide to play a little bit earlier than that, guys.
Right, and this was them kind of deciding that they're not, like, they're not going to even challenge. I don't think for.
They need to take this one. Yep.
Yeah, this was right. This was kind of a must win in that case, and all the credit to the Irish for just taking advantage the whole time and just doing what they needed to do, like the mini wins in phase play and what have you, like when you're at each breakdown of play, when you restart, you're like, okay, well, what's the best possible outcome from this? If it's not a try, okay, well, gain territory here and there. They won every one of those little battles, it felt like. And Bristol kind of pissed away a lot of opportunities to win those battles. So good for Irish for stepping up and grabbing the ring. I mean, they're in chat. Like, look at the table.
It's cramped.
4 points separate 4th and 9th.
Yeah, it's cramped.
That's fucked up.
It is very cramped.
So, every win matters. So, and every point matters. So Irish getting a bonus point win away from home. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all doing dances over there.
Bastards.
Yeah. The other Friday night match. I wish I could say it was a match. It wasn't. Leicester.
No, it really wasn't.
The 48 or so 49, whatever it was, when Burbank kicked that pen, I'm like, this is that's them basically waving the flag, because they weren't going to get anything after that. I was like, you should have gone for the corner, you dopes.
Right.
Or something, because you needed it at that point. And they didn't. So they didn't win, which is how it probably should go in that case.
And Chris Ashton had a Chris Ashton match for the ages, where he comes in was it at HIA in the first half?
Yeah.
Saves a try, and in the second half comes in and gets a yellow card.
Yellow card. Very Ashy. Attaboy, bud. That's the Ashy we all know and love.
Yeah, we missed you, bud. The only thing he didn't do was actually score a try. That's the only thing he missed out on.
Yeah.
But they didn't really need him to, so Nadolo scored all the tries they needed.
All right. Let's go to CBS. Wasp and Bath.
That works.
Yeah, that was I mean, geez, this kind of just fell apart in the last 10 minutes for Bath. They deserved better than this until really that last 10 minutes. Really,
3 tries in the last 10 minutes. Yeah,
yeah.
You can't.
Paulo Adoglu loves that corner.
He certainly does. And he's excellent at finding it. Just like the other guy who scored tries is excellent at just bowling over. That's kind of an element that they were missing, and without Willis doing it, like even this the guys who started, like Shields is a excellent, like sledgehammer kind of guy.
Yeah.
And can play. But he needs like people around him that can play. And like Launchbury now, instead of Fafita, switching him in, and Gaskell is again another lock. They played 3 locks in this. They've really played a plotting team. Wasps did in the forwards, until of course
Barbary came in.
Barbary came on. Now it's like, okay, now you have a little bit of a spark plug. Okay, that really changed. That changed a lot of the match.
It did.
Good for, but Bath. I mean, they weren't they leading at half, or
it was close
to it. I thought it was like 17-14 or something like that.
Yeah, it was close.
It was close. They like just a monster performance from Faletau and Hughes working together. That's great. That is going to do some damage. Did you mind if they still had Stuke?
I know. Well, he scored in this one too. So
twice, right? Two.
Yeah, he got one. He got one. He came close to getting the second one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it was that 13. It was that little bit of gap where Glanville was off for a yellow and Rockandaguni had already been sent off. So that was what did him in, and that's really, really unfortunate because Bath showed well in this one.
One thing I wanted to say about that from this match, that because it annoys me every week. What the fuck good is a box kick when you're in the attacking end? I don't fucking get it. The only time it worked was in this match. And you know who made that box kick in the attacking half? Alfie Barbary.
Oh, right.
when he kicked it, it was like just over the 50. They had got a quick turnover, and there was certainly nobody. It was off first phase, so there was really nobody back for Bath.
Right.
And he's like, all right, bloop, and he kicked him down way into the corner, like just a beautiful box kick that most Harry Randall would be like, how do you do that?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's just funny that the only good box kick in the attacking half was from a forward. Yeah. So
funny about that one.
Just saying is all.
Yeah. Let's go down to Devon. This was not the best one for the Gloucestermen.
I hated this match.
Yeah. There was a lot to dislike about this match, no doubt. I mean, but in the end, if we look at Gloucester, like their lineout problems were the things that bit them the most because they gave away probably 3 or 4 in the attacking end when they and they've been really good about converting these too. That's the problem. And they don't necessarily get a ton of them, but when they do, they make it count. And I'm sure Skivington, being who he is and the way he wants the team to operate, is probably kicking everybody that was in that line out from here until next week.
Well, to me, their problem was that they did, how I was saying before with the Irish, like you doing the things you need to do in the places you need to do them. Like against Exeter, what don't we do against Exeter? We don't take penalties around midfield. We don't take stupid penalties, needless penalties at all. You don't want any needless penalties at all. And I feel like that's all Gloucester did, was take really bad penalties in really stupid places. I mean, the penalty count was 14-12, so it didn't.
But it's where they were.
It's where they were. And sometimes it was like deep in it was either deep in the attacking end, which gives Exeter that free clear.
Yep.
You don't want. You want them to play in their own end, because they'll just give up. Even if you turn the ball over, they'll just give it right back to you. So you want that. Or they do it at midfield, which is like, okay, now we're going to kick it into the corner and just try to drive you over.
Right.
And it's like, that's what they're good at. So you can't give them that kind of just freedom to do it.
Nope. So it's a stinger for Skivington's crew, no doubt.
Thorley's back though. That was great. Something.
That was great. This was one Exeter badly needed as well, for their own sake. They were in free fall a wee bit, so
a little bit. Now they're back in it now.
They are right back in the hunt. They're in 6, but as you noted, there's a lot of jumping room between 9 and 4. So
hell, they're 6 points away from Gloucester in 3. So like they're not only are they in position to, like fuck it, all these teams are in position to.
I'm sure many teams were hoping Gloucester would do the job, but obviously that did not happen. So
I'm not,
here we are.
As a Sarri supporter, I'm not sad about it either.
Oh, I know the gap for second is nice and comfy right now. Yeah. Thankfully, we'll get to that. We'll get to that further in a minute. Right. Let's jump over to the AJ Bell and the return of Steve Diamond, which brought a little bit of a dust up on the touchline there. I don't know what the hell he was yelling at, but the angry old man. So we'll just assume he's just yelling at angry old man things,
right? Because he's a douche.
Twat. And another team that kind of showed well for a little bit here, Worcester, and then just kind of after a little while.
Well, I mean, look, you look at that lineup that Sale put out there, and they clearly put out a B team, and certainly in the forwards. They were like, all right, we're gonna
the forwards,
our busy people, we're going to change out our busy people. We'll have our backs run because they need to get the run in. And this is a really good team to run on. So this is only Roebuck didn't have a great game, but Aaron Reed did. So it's
and that's the beauty of having a good back three. If one of them can have an off game if the other ones pick up the slack. Exactly.
And Sam James wasn't like a total
Even Sam James was useful in this game, for God's sake.
Right. So you have basically it's your back line. It's weird. That's the total opposite. You have first off a lock playing at 8. It's
JLDP though.
Around. Yeah, I know he was good. He's fine.
He's rather good.
Just okay with that. But damn, McGinty
he turned out, no doubt. I mean, it was fun watching him and Quirk combine as well. That is a great little combination right there, and South fans are going to be missing that. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, is Faf gone at the end of this year?
No, not yet.
Wow. Oh, okay, not officially.
No, I haven't heard anything specific coming out.
I spend that money elsewhere. Quirky is your guy.
Yeah. So lots of good. Again, this is a team that has been trending in the right direction, and they are continuing to do so. And obviously, you want to make sure that you take care of the ones like this, so you don't screw it up.
Right.
But good for Sale. They're going. Sanderson and company and that was a fun match to watch. That was a fun team to watch as well. So and that's not something that we've said very often about Sale. So
no, we don't.
Credit to Sanders and co. for getting them into, just a little bit better of style rugby. And I'm not saying that what they have in the locker is awful, and you got to have it sometimes, because sometimes ugly rugby matches are required.
Right.
But this will do you more good more often than not.
Oh, certainly. And now that I think Sanderson has his back three now, and that's going to just lock it in. It's such a, it's an element that you need. Like, as much as people try to say like, oh, you need this, you need that. It's, having you want the steady hand over the flash. And it's like certain physicians, the flash is what you need. Like, you got the steady hands elsewhere. You need somebody who can finish, and they got 2 wingers that can finish. You got a fullback, when healthy. And now his brother can, fill in when competently. That's it clicks when you lock things into place. It just looks so much better, and it works so much better. So
agreed.
Good for Sale.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're different. They're not the same Sale team.
Yeah. This is a fun team to watch.
Like the Steve Diamond is gone. Like that whole bullshit about it. Like, I think that just you bring that kind of attitude. They say that the team takes on the personality of the coach like that, and fuck, that's such a shitty personality. You don't want that personality. You gotta. It takes time to change that personality. And
he was there for a long time too, so that doesn't help. Did not help things at all. Let's jump to Sunday and the Stone X.
Oh, was there a match on Sunday?
I mean, geez, it was it was a match. It was a match for quite a bit. Geez Louise, there was some points where I was good and puckered during this one.
That's interesting, because I never really felt like there was a little bit where like towards, in the second half, I feel like Sarries played the first half. They were into the wind, right?
Yeah.
And they came away. I was like, that's a serious advantage for a win. I thought it was like about a 10-point win. So to come out at half tied, I'm fine with that, because I thought they would do a better job the second half of playing field position, and they just kind of didn't. But I also felt so.
Well, I felt like we were one stupid mistake from Dom or Van Zale away from giving away a friggin' try. So I was like,
well, because but they had so many opportunities too at times. So like, I mean, that Van Zale, when they called that back, first off, there were a couple, like the try being called back. Like, you know how many times I saw guys get tackled past the, way off the breakdown this weekend? So many, but that one, it did not affect the try. Like, the guy was cleaned out. He was, even if what was it, Christie, like, didn't bring him to ground, he was like 5 meters deep. Like, he's not coming back into to make a play there on that try. Just a call to be a dick, I thought. So
yeah, sometimes they do that. So,
yeah.
But the upside, the one thing I felt very confident in as soon as once we got to halftime, was that the scrum would be just as valuable as a weapon, if not more so, because they were absolutely shithousing it.
They were.
Low was rusty. I think you said it, right. And Karad was not a whole lot better. So as soon as we started just crushing that scrum, I was like, we're gonna get penalties out of this, and we're gonna actually be able to use it. I wish Manu had found touch more often than not, but somebody needed to take the boot away from him and give it to Goody or Laws, one or the other. I don't care which one. And
I do want to give a shout out. I do want to give a shout out to the Quinn's coaching staff for the lineup change. When they put the lineup out, Wilco Low was on the bench and Carrot was starting. And I think the whole plan was that, okay, we're going to give Wilco Low 30 minutes. And then they realized, about 30 minutes. And then they realized, wait a minute, if we bring him on in 50 minutes, like, he's got to stay on no matter what, or or like until he gets hurt. And we really don't want that to happen. We want to use as much of him as possible. So they started him and hoped that he could like soften up the scrum for Carrot, and it just didn't work. Nope. And I think they pulled him a little bit earlier than they wanted to, because it was just like, this isn't working. And
they were probably trying to limp to halftime, but it just the way the scrums were going was not fantastic for them, and that was very un-Wilco Low like as well. So
so I just
something was wrong.
Credit to them for flipping it around, because that's the safer thing to do for Wilco Low.
Yeah, recognizing it and saying, yep, this is the problem we might have, and sure enough, it was in fact a problem. So good on them. It was as soon as they got that last, I am not, again, we are not fans of going for posts very often, but when they got that last opportunity, I was just like, post, don't do anything but that, please.
The one like right around 60 minutes.
That was a scrum too.
We were just like, no, go to corner. So it was that last one. It's like, okay, yes, just win it, just be done.
Just do it and take the lead for good, so we can be done with this thing.
Because it was like they like you said, the Quins can score at any time. So it's like, even if you have a 6-point lead, that's not really
So
that's why I wasn't puckered, but I was not
at ease by any means whatsoever. So there's that.
Maybe I was feeling cocky, I guess.
Getting penis-y over here.
I was feeling the Wolfpack defense, so I felt pretty confident.
Yeah, defense was definitely on point for the good chunk of it. Obviously, sans the DC try. He does that sometimes.
Right. I mean, what the fuck? You can't, like, it's Danny Kerr. Like,
can't keep him out forever.
No. And Sarries are kind of shit against scrum halves this year. So
as we noted. So it's like you said, these are the dark days of the Prem. When you get a win, you take it. Bonus point win, you jump up and down and be happy about it. So teams that got those, good for you. Teams that got the wins, still good. And the losers, hopefully you grabbed a bonus point or two, because you're going to need them come end of the season here. And
hopefully you want to bet against your friend, because that's the
most important part. Of course it is. All right. Quickly, let's do the whip around and we'll be out of here. No Freeze X game to talk about, so that's okay. Seattle beat Utah. It's not one I thought would go that way, but it was close.
Right.
So actually, I wasn't too surprised with that. Los Angeles beat Toronto, as we talked about on the weekend during our draft pod. Legion beat the Jackals. I watched this match. Here's the problem that I have with MLR at this point. There's still a lot of the same problems we have in year 5 that we had in year 1. Like, shocking, super inaccurate lineups, and the commentators not knowing anybody's fucking name. And I'm like, dude, like, do your goddamn homework, please. And I mean, and I'll live with the growing pains of the TMO. That's just how it is. But like, and the camera quality is still kind of shit, which is also something that, like, people are just like, this looks like it's on closed circuit TV. I'm like, oh, that's not a great comment right there. No. But the Legion did figure it out. So good for them. That means they're probably well on their way to the direction we thought they were going when we did our MLR preview. And the Jackals showed up. Good for them. Todd Gleave was, I believe, he was the starting hooker for this, the former Gloucester hooker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I
and Trinder was either 12 or 13 for them as well.
Gotcha.
Henry Trinder. New York just edged out Houston, so either New York's that bad or Houston's that good. I don't know. I mean, they beat Los Angeles the other week, so LA, the Guiltinis. So I guess we'll find out. Rugby ATL beat NOLA. Sorry, not sad that NOLA lost.
No, not at all.
Yeah, how the hell Robbie Coleman's still playing after that shot on Waka last week? I have no idea.
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and Fife got a 3 game for what? We don't know. Like,
I don't know. A hit off. It
was some mysterious off the ball hit that wasn't caught on camera. Okay, so that doesn't sound fishy or conniving in any way, shape, or form.
No, but yeah, like that headshot. No, what the fuck?
That was a red. That should have been a red. There was no. He was doing nothing but going for his head. Nothing. Right. So Nola, you are definitely my most hated team right now. Fuck you guys. And their commentary team that they have for themselves is awful too. Oh my god, is it awful? I was watching the ATL game for a little bit. I'm like, oh, I forgot it's these idiots. Mute. It's some old fucker. Like, God, he's got to be at least 60, and he's just like, I played back in he played in the days when basically everything was legal in rugby, and he still wants it that way. I'm like, right. And the guy that does the play-by-play is horrible. He's definitely their C-list guy, like, no doubt. Oh man, yeah. And just tries to pronounce everything. I don't remember what I'm trying to think of the example, but anyway, yeah, just he's a try hard, way too much.
Okay.
Way too much. Yeah. So I fucking hate it. Anyway, so
that's why I don't even try. I don't want you to think I'm a try hard.
So if you watch a NOLA game, just watch it on mute. They're awful. The commentary is awful usually. At least while they're at home. Or don't watch their game at all.
Don't watch their game at all because it's
when I play the Free Jacks.
Right.
And then the Gilgroni smashed DC. DC's bad this year, unfortunately.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, and that's who
we got going up Friday night. That's kind of what we thought, right? We were like, they kind of just took steps backwards this year. So
yeah, I mean, they don't have their usual fly half. He's gone. Mason's gone. So that's less than good for them, no doubt. Yeah, I guess Mungo Mason's playing in England for like Oxford or something like that, along with Savetta. I was like, oh yeah, right, interesting.
Yeah,
weird, but either way, so yeah, Free Jacks come up this week. Up this weekend. They open the weekend on Friday night. Yeehaw! Get to it, boys.
Can't wait.
I'm ready. Okay, so that's that. We tried to wrap it all up as fast as possible, I swear. But we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and bearing with us as it is. But yeah, we'll be heading over to the fantasy corner in a minute here. If you are coming that way, we'll see you there. If not, we appreciate you all for hanging out and listening to us, and we'll catch you all next week. Have a good one.
Later.
Cheers.